Chapter 7. Conducting the inspection. Section 7.1. Opening the interview. At the beginning of the inspection, you will conduct an opening interview. The interview will be conducted with a responsible person, preferably a supervisor who has a business assigned to as your point of contact. Briefly describes the purpose of the inspection. Outline the inspection procedure to include any of the following and are applicable. Areas to be inspected: manufacturer, filing, shipping, retesting, etc. Testing to be observed: types, test, type, container, type, record records to be examined: shipping, billing, and receiving personnel to be interviewed: product manager, retester, operator, exit interview results of inspection and possible sanctions. Obtain background information concerning to the firm, a record of the inspection investigation report form provided by Appendix A of this manual. Some important information you should obtain includes a mailing address, indifferent and physical address, telephone, fax numbers, tax identification number, corporate headquarters mailing address, contact name, indifferent than inspected location. If during the inspection you are accompanied by one or more parties, identifying yourself and all your presence and obtain their names and titles. If the company officials refuse the entry and have consented to start an inspection, suddenly call and consult Section 5.5, the manual inspection. Section 7.2, inspection, consult, inspection, and record foundation of the inspectional observation in the accordance with the procedure prescribed in this manual. Copies or forms are located in Appendix A. If the situation arises during the inspection which is adequately addressed to the hazard addressed in this material, suspended the inspection, immediately contact your supervisor in the instruction before resuming it. Section 7.3. Most inspections involve subject of witness and interviewing. Interviewing is particularly important because it assists and describes the operation, providing leads and identifies evidence and establishing knowledge or lack of work conducting. An interviewing investigator should be interested in interviewee did, saw, heard, and rather had in his opinion or conclusion as of what had occurred. Remember, a conclusion with an adequate basis is useful. If there is an adequate basis, the conclusion will be self-evident. Effective interviewing can and reveal contradiction, which may indicate and eliminate probable violations other than further investigations. The result in an effective interview should be a clear description of the physical evidence, such as shipping papers, defective equipment, improperly sealed containers. Investigators must carefully document explanation statements relating to probable violations. They provide evidence supporting the knowledge and willful legal standards. Evidence and oral physical may also be provided to the extent of gravity of alleged violation. These may in turn have significant wide-range safety enforcement implications. Generally, one establishes the basis of most conclusions by asking the following questions: what happened, when it happened, where did it happen, why did it happen, how did it happen, who is involved, which one did the testing, how many were involved. Section 7.3.1, general interview rules list of more than talk. Keep your eyes and ears open. Although the subject to do most of the talking will yield most information. Do not ridicule, bully, or belittle interviewee or his information. Do not become angry, arrogant, of agnostic, and his lead to complaint of the bias. Be frank, acknowledgement, assertive. 3. A simple, direct question that involve but one subject or item under investigation. If the answer is vague or evasive, you may have touched on an area that requires further investigation. If it may helpful, ask to the same question as several times. Follow the question in requiring yes and no responses, open-ended ones, and often to calibrate your equipment. How do you calibrate it? You avoid leading questions which will allow the simple responses such as you do the calibration and your equipment you don't. You avoid the personal discussion as well as discussing about religion, politics, similar controversial materials. Avoid creating impressions that you are interested in confession or conviction or impress the interviewee with the fact that you only desire the truth. Section 7.4, written statements. The statement provides with the documentation of result interview, the request of information. The quality useful of the statement depends on the quality of the interview on which it is based on. The techniques preparing for a statement: whenever the business possible is interviewed the statement if his or her own handwriting has and given him the sign and includes from later in saying that his own statement. Instruct the interviewee interviewee to limit the statement or elements of violations and facts the interview can contribute to prove this element. In case the interview instructs interviewee to limit statements to what he or she did or saw or avoid opinions and conclusions. 8. Statement format. Introductory date and time, location, names, and titles of interviewee, interview, declaration, and statement, voluntary made with promises, threats, and coercion of any kind. Body and narrative statement should be provided the facts that will prove the elements of violation. Will answer all the 7 basic questions: who, what, when, where, there, when, why, and how, and which. Conclusion. Declaration. Interview has been read the statement that it is correct in the best of his or her knowledge and is voluntarily given without promises, threats, or coercion of any kind. The signature. Interviewee should sign the statement and initial each page in correction. And if an interviewee refuses to sign the statement, ask if the statement is incorrect or is untrue or in any respect. Make any note that the reply or the reason for his refusal to sign. Include this exhibit with the enforcement report. Also, signatures should be witnessed. Distribution. Signed statements should be attached by enforcement report of the exhibit in accordance with the procedure described in this manual. State form is in Appendix A of this manual. 7.4.2 Oral statements. Personal interviews throughout the compliance inspection provides the oral statement. Oral statements are paraphrased and inspection reports to support the violation when using the provided oral statement exhibits and question and answer format to support the violation. 7.5 Photography. The use of photography, most accurate method of evidence for recording violations, conditions, and many changing during the inspection and shortly thereafter. Photographs are generally admitted in court law and provide the truth of representative of the scene of the existing time of the photograph was taken. The photograph of substantive violation observed or provided visual data. Visual details are reviewed during the preparation of enforcement reports, informing meetings, enforcing conferences. Photos should not be a narrative description. The violation should be used in detail to complemented in planning the photograph. Planning the photograph. Preparing the photos when possible. Determine what you should finish in photo to be shown as the prior to take. Detailed marking stamps and bows may be accompanied by observation form. Show the relationship, scene, and situation, violation, or accident components. Variables 2 include the reference or size of photographs such as a ruler, coin, or pen, and clipboard. This will type the specific item, oversee the scene, and emphasize and distortion or lack of distortion of the item of the photograph. Do not try to show too much of each picture. Use additional photographs as necessary to illustrate details that may be difficult. Be sure to photography all sides and package, even if they are blank. Failure to leave leaves the reader wander. If the record and markings labeled and more on the side of the photograph, take the series of shots from the far, near, and wide and narrow. A series of photographs to help explain the violation. Be sure the flash spark producing equipment can be used in the area you are photographing. Do not use flash equipment around employees using machinery, operating equipment without their knowledge, e.g. explosive, flammable gases, liquids, etc. Employees can also be startled by unexpected flash of light. You also highly encourage develop filing system and permits for travel of photographs later to do. Photography sometimes needed years after inspection investigations to support and enforcement action under appeal. In an instant of photography incorporated in an INREPT at the time of submission may contain a crucial element of evidence. Photographers can also serve as invaluable training aids. Section 7.6 Exit Briefing. Following the inspection, complete the exit briefing in accordance with procedures prescribed in the manual. After doing conferring with the owner and supervisor and company representative, discuss the findings and inspection and inform such person of the sanctions that they may result in inclusion or existing briefing. Request that the officials sign the sanctions and that they may result at conclusion of the exit briefing. Request that officials sign that exists being formed as a verification that the result. Excuse me. At the conclusion of each exit briefing, request the official sign the exit briefing room as verification of the results of the inspection discussed and provided the company official with a copy of completed exit briefing form. If the signature request is denied, please note that this is on the form. Note that the branded name of the receiving of the exit briefing of the first page exists. Briefing required record printed name on the person refusing to sign on your enforcement report. Although always make yourself available to help inspected parties understand the HMR requires. Remember, our goal is compliance. Take as much time as you need to be inspected to set the inspected party on the right path to correct the deficiencies. If you return to the office and decision between you and your supervisor other than enforcement officer results in deletions from and additions and modifications of the exit briefing, please send the revised exit briefing an appropriate company official. Follow the inspection. The primary purpose of following up an inspection is determining observation of other locations of probable violation of hazard material regulations. When the sufficient evidence exists and observation to support enforced action and decision to whether the enforcement section is scheduled follow-up inspection will be made. Unit supervisor's decision is based on a risk involved in general routine follow-up inspection conducting determining with the company the compliance with the safety standard regulation required in the hazard math law. The inspection of the company is enforced action and consider reinspection OHMA reinspection program discussed